I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss. I want to provide a weather update for you. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb and I are going to be here with you all night long until we are in the clear so that we can get more information and make sure that you have the latest details on the storms that are headed our way. The newest information, literally within the last 2 minutes or so, the Storm Prediction Center has expanded our tornado watch. In fact, as we take a closer look, before it was just for Chattooga County, and you can see this almost stretches all the way across North Georgia. So if your weather radio is going off, that is because there is a new tornado watch until 2 a.m. for most of North Georgia. So there's your heads up. Make sure that you are weather aware. Right now it's 7:31. This is a great time to charge your phones and be prepared for these storms to arrive, because as we are looking at the intensity of them as they're coming in from the west, they are pretty strong. In fact, here's a look at our southeast view for our satellite and radar. You can see all of these big red boxes. Those are actually tornado watches. The yellow box down here in portions of Louisiana as well as Arkansas and even Mississippi, that is a severe thunderstorm watch. The most important thing is what's happening into Alabama. This purple box on your screen, that is actually a confirmed tornado that has been on the ground near Huntsville, Alabama for quite some time. So if you know anyone in Huntsville, they definitely should be in their safe place. There's also numerous tornado warnings in portions of Tennessee as well as back into Mississippi. So this storm system continuing to push off. What I have been noticing though with it is, even though this is the main line of the cold front that's pushing through, we can actually start to see some of these like isolated showers and thunderstorms coming behind the front. So that's a little bit alarming. That means that even though you might think that you're in the clear because the main line has passed through, you need to make sure that you are weather aware for quite some time. Here in Georgia, we are dry right now. We're going to start to see some increasing cloud cover, specifically if you are in North Georgia, which is literally where that box is. That's where your new tornado watch is located. Now, this storm that we're watching in Huntsville, not only is it a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's also a very small portion of it that is signifying a confirmed tornado. We know this because what happens is in the chat that we are involved in with the National Weather Service, someone has confirmed they saw something on the ground or something that could be at least confirmed, whether that's debris in the air or that's a funnel cloud. So they went ahead and they said, okay, this is a confirmed tornado. So something that we are keeping our eye on. When I look at the characteristics of it, you can definitely see a slight hook. I know that Huntsville sign is there, but I've been watching this storm for at least the last 30 minutes or so. Let's take a live look outside what's happening right now. You might be thinking, man, it was such a beautiful day today. How are we expecting storms? They're on the way. Don't you worry. We're going to start to see those winds increasing. Here's a look into Truist Park. We do have some pretty nice cumulonimbus clouds in the sky right now, but then off in the distance it's nice and clear, but we're going to start to see that cloud cover really increasing. Here's a look into Midtown at our Georgia Tech camera. Plenty of cloud cover there, starting to get a little bit more cloudy all across the area. Here's another thing. In Rome, you can start to see the winds are picking up because those flags are blowing around. So this is another indicator that the storms are on the way. It has been nice, warm, humid at times, and because our temperatures were so warm today, the good news is since it's going to be dark when these storms start to come in and the temperatures will start to fall, that is going to kind of reduce our risk just a little bit. However, check out our temperature right now. It's 86 with 48% humidity, so it feels like 87 outside. That's big. So that could definitely fuel some of these storms as they come through and kind of intensify them just a little bit. I know that we haven't had a lot of severe weather in the recent weeks, but we've had plenty throughout this spring. But let's go ahead and review the difference between a watch and a warning. I think this is very important for you all to know and to remember as well. A watch indicates the risk of a hazard. So if you have a weather radio, if you have your phone alerts turned on, you might be thinking, oh my goodness, there's a new tornado watch in effect. That doesn't mean that you should panic just yet. What you should be doing, though, is getting into your safe place. Go ahead and communicate with your family. Where are we going? What should we do? Have these conversations now. The watch means to prepare, right? It means to have your plan just in case. If you live in a mobile home, take this time now to go to the local storm shelter, wherever you can go, so that you are in a nice area, so that you don't have to worry about what could happen in case some of these storms are intense. A warning means that the event is occurring, likely or imminent. Take action now to save life or property. Here's the thing. We always tell people to be prepared. We'd rather you be prepared than scared outside, right? So when the watch is issued, which is right now, go ahead and get into your safe place and make sure that you have those conversations ahead of time. It's always good to be proactive. Nothing hurts to talk about things ahead of time before you get to that warning status. Also, even if you're not in this watch right now, I would go ahead and start having those conversations. Start charging your phone, start to get ready, because some of these storms are going to be coming through as people are starting to go to bed and get comfortable at night. So here's a look at your severe threat for today. Obviously, there is a large area that is in a level 3, the enhanced risk level for tonight. Memphis has already seen their storms, but within the last hour or so, they had another rogue tornado warning, in fact. And then as we look closer to home, we are still, unfortunately, awaiting that severe weather to arrive. There is an enhanced level for most of us, and it does now include portions of North Georgia and North Atlanta as well. And then there's a level 2 threat as we head into East Georgia, and then South Georgia near Macon is under a level 1. Honestly, the winds are definitely the main concern. So I really would say it doesn't matter what level you're in. Make sure that you are prepared in case your power goes out at the very least. And we could talk about trees coming down when we're talking about winds being this high. So we just want to make sure that you are all aware of what's going to happen. Now, we're going to time out some stuff, right? We're going to talk about 2 separate models. What can you expect? This is one of our models that we like to use. This is Tuesday at 10 p.m. I'm thinking that some of these storms could be arriving a little bit before 10 p.m., but just in case, we want to show you both models, what we look at. This is the latest model run for our graph model. So this is Tuesday at 10 p.m. in Northwest Georgia. The highest of the winds will be coming. And as you take a look along this line, back off to our west, you can see these little purple dots. That usually indicates that that's probably the strongest portion of the storm. But as we put it in motion along the leading edge, that's where you can expect the highest of the wind. So just be prepared for that. That's 11 p.m. moving through Metro Atlanta. A lot of people are sleeping at that time. It is still a school night. I know a lot of kids are on their last week of school, but make sure that you are prepared for that if you are going to bed earlier this evening. Continuing to push it into motion around 1 a.m. things start to calm down just a little bit, which is good. And then by Wednesday morning, it looks like everything's clear. This is our secondary model that we like to show. Sometimes this model brings in storms a little bit more intense than we like to see them, but let's just check it out. What can you see? This is a good thing. When you start to see the models align, that's pretty much a good sign that we could be seeing storms around that 10 p.m. hour. Once again, it has it coming into Northwest Georgia around that time. Then the leading edge around 11:30. So that has really Metro Atlanta seeing some of that rainfall and those high winds coming in just a little bit earlier than that 11 and 12 o'clock time. This is at 1 a.m. headed through the metro, highest of the winds there. So make sure that you are prepared. We've also had a lot of severe weather, so some of your trees could be dead in your yard. You want to make sure that you just, stay away from those windows. Treat it as if it is a tornado warning, even if it is a severe thunderstorm warning, because our main concern will be the winds with this system. Here's a look at our power outage risk. And you see how fast it went through? I think that's a pretty good sign that as of right now, the winds aren't going to be that high to see large outages, but we could see some outages. Also, once again, this is a look at our tornado environment. In fact, I'm going to back it up just a little bit so that we can talk about it together. This is at 10:30. I like when it's just gray. That's a low end. It's not a zero. A zero would be nothing, right? But it is a low end. And then you start to see that yellow and orange in West Georgia. That's around 10:30 p.m. I'm thinking that's probably going to be lifted a little bit more towards the north. So that's something that we'll have to keep our eye on. That is probably the greatest strength for tornado environment between now and around 1 a.m. It does get to a low risk, and I'm thinking that's just because the winds are going to be so high. So that's why we have a chance to see a stronger tornado environment. But then as we head through the rest of the time, we're not really seeing anything develop there. Now, as far as rainfall totals are concerned, what can we expect with the rainfall? It's really not going to be a heavy rain event. Our main concern, I keep saying it, I know, the high winds. So you want to make sure that you are prepared in case there are some trees that come down. You want to make sure that you are prepared in case you see, some of those power outages as well. And I think that the model rainfall shows a good weather story as well. We're definitely starting to see some higher totals in Northwest Georgia, and I'm thinking that's because the strongest of the storms will be happening there first. So let's go back to our radar really quickly. I also want to take you back to the tornado watch so you can see what else is happening. But this is another look at these storms and our current satellite and radar across the southeast. The storms seem to be moving pretty quickly. And as we take a closer look here, we're starting to continue to see some of these warnings just kind of hold together. Unfortunately, the sun has not set, so that's still fueling some storms here. And this one isolated cell, this is over the last hour that this motion is going through right now. It's just holding on to a very strong cell that's continuing to move our way, and it's not really moving very fast. So that's another reason why that confirmed box is still there. If you take a closer look at it, it is a pretty large cell as well. This is moving through Huntsville. It's on the way to Scottsboro, and before you know it, it could be into Dalton. So that's something to look out for. Another live look here at home, and we are nice and dry. One more time for the tornado watch so you can see what's going on. I know a lot of us are wondering, this also scrolling at the bottom of your screen. This is a look at the tornado watch until 2 a.m. now. It does include most of North Georgia. So just make sure that you are weather aware tonight. Charge those phones. Make sure you have your weather radio plugged in. Make sure that you are prepared so you can get multiple ways to have notifications. Make sure that your notifications are on your phone as well, so that if anything happens, something's going to alert you and wake you up overnight, because that's the main concern with this system as well, is the timing of it. Unfortunately, a lot of people will be going to sleep, preparing for work tomorrow, and you want to make sure that you are as prepared as possible. I'm going to return you back to let you see some radar loops for yourself, and then around 8 p.m. Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb will come on and he will give you another update. But for now, I'm meteorologist Danielle Moss.